It was the summer of Bigfoot. Bigfoot is in the news. In fact, today kicks off the Louisiana Bigfoot Hunters event, September 7th at the Natchitoches. It's the Louisiana Bigfoot Festival. I was actually supposed to be speaking there, but I did not go because of the Vault Conference. I specialize in the skunk ape, which we will get to in a little bit. Not the first convention of its kind, though. Let's take a look. This is first up, the Louisiana Convention. The Bigfoot, okay, nope, wrong graphic.
Go back.
Okay, cool.
You have
all right,
it?
now the screen froze.
Okay.
Wonderful. Okay.
There we go.
Is a blind person working the
Who
controls?
the hell is back there?
All right, welcome. Thank you for waking up Jeremy in the back. Do you have a Sasquatch encounter? So these are conventions that go on all the time in the United States. Here's one that happened in, all right. We're real, the
You
time
leave it
we are
up. Leave
not
it up.
dancing.
Leave it up. Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead. They're messing with you.
I'm like trying to dance, and you guys are stepping all over my toes. Do you have a Sasquatch encounter story to tell? Head to the Great Florida Bigfoot Convention. This one also held in Ocala, Florida, at the World Equestrian Center. It was in June. At that one, 9 speakers. I was actually there, who range from authors, biologists, and cryptozoologists, were in attendance to speak about their findings and huntings for Bigfoot. So these are events that happen all the time. Was that believable?
What?
That I go to hunt Bigfoot events and I speak?
I actually believe that one. I believe that
I'm
you
going to
speak
start lying and telling that to people because
Dude,
I've never been to one.
Rob,
But I'm going to start telling
Rob, 'cause
people.
in my head, I just picture you up there going, "Hey guys, it's real."
Okay, cool. I'm going to lie now and go, okay, this is what I do in my free time.
Because you look like the kind of guy who appears on Finding Bigfoot shows.
Bearded.
In my observations, because Bigfoot's a big topic of discussion in my family as well.
What the hell?
When you go out looking for Bigfoot, one of the things you do not find is Bigfoot. The other thing you do not find is black people. Because it is a very white person thing to go looking for Bigfoot.
He's being wait, time out. He's just being factual. By the way, he's Jamaican, not Kamala.
If you watch,
not West Indian Jamaican.
Yeah. Watch the Finding Bigfoot shows. Watch any Bigfoot documentary. It's all guys who look a few degrees close to Rob.
Because white guys like me are incredibly bored, and so we go and find things to fill that time. Like going into the Everglades and looking for the skunk ape. So everybody's always heard of Bigfoot. You've heard of Bigfoot. Of
course.
You've seen Harry and the Hendersons. Did they have Harry and the Hendersons
I have
in
no
Australia?
idea
Oh
what
my
you
God,
guys
it's a great
are
movie.
talking about.
You don't have no idea. So you've never heard of Bigfoot.
I mean, I know of through urban legend, but I don't know what it relates back to.
Does Australia have a Bigfoot?
They have like a kangaroo out there that just flashes
not
people.
that I'm aware of. I
You
don't
guys
think
don't
we.
have any like weird cryptozoology or
Have you seen Australian
animals are
wildlife? They
weird.
don't need cryptozoology.
Animals are like weird enough. We have kangaroos that are like 6'5"
that punch people in
beat
the
up
face.
guys.
They
Yeah.
kangaroos will like flex and then punch you in the face.
Not to mention,
Violent.
the dingo ate your baby and all that.
Oh yeah, Dingo took my baby.
Well, if you've so we have the Bigfoot is allegedly a go ahead. What would be the description you'd give to Amy as to what Bigfoot is?
A large humanoid ape creature that lives, in various wooded areas.
That hasn't evolved.
What does he do?
He
He
just
just kinda
walks.
walks around. Vibes.
He just walks blurry and looks to the left.
Well, no,
like
he must walk super fast because every photo is blurry. And at this day and age, with cell phones, I mean, I could take photos like okay, never mind. I could take photos at the mall of hot babes walking around from all the way. Now it sounds like a freak that I do it.
Rob,
but I'm saying
you definitely
could.
sound like a creep.
I know,
because I know you do that.
The more I'm explaining, the more it sounds realistic. Like you hide behind the Cinnabon sand and you scroll all the way out. But you can
The
capture
zoom
things.
feature is incredible.
You can capture things from very far away, and yet somehow Bigfoot mysteriously is able to evade capture of modern day photography.
There's a theory on that, Rob, that after you make your points, I'll get into.
No, go ahead, tell me.
No, because like I said, Bigfoot stuff is a weird point of fixation in my family. My dad and I both listen to Bigfoot podcasts. I never talk about this on the show.
And what is your and it's not like
for
your
good
father. It's not like you grew up in a trailer park and
No.
your dad goes out and shoots lizards to make lizard stew in South Florida.
My
your
dad
father
is
was
a good family man, church-going cop. Like
exactly.
he's not
a retired police officer.
Yeah, not some weirdo. On most subjects.
We're all a little weird.
And he watches this show, so this is going to be his favorite segment
Hi,
we've ever
Dad.
done. But he listens to a Bigfoot podcast. He got me into a Bigfoot podcast. I never talk about it on the show because, and for good reason, because when we talked about Stonehenge and I got into the ancient history stuff that I am fascinated by, A bunch of people in the comments implied that I might be autistic. So I'm not going to... I don't bring it up very often, but I do love cryptozoology. But some people who study Bigfoot as much as something that has never been confirmed to exist can be studied say that Bigfoot actually has properties that interfere with electronics, which is why he's never been able to be photographed on a modern device. Anytime there's a Bigfoot video, it looks like it was shot on a camera from like the 40s, because those are the only ones that work around Bigfoot.
The Zapruder film was clearer than any footage that I've ever seen of Bigfoot.
Yes. The only really famous Bigfoot video is the Patterson footage, and I think that's from like the 30s. That's the one famous shot of
Where he's
Bigfoot walking through the woods and everything. Everything else, like, they say all the cameras stop working around him because Bigfoot can interfere with electronics. I don't know what to make of that. That's very weird, but there is an explanation among people who are hardcore Bigfoot enthusiasts.
So Bigfoot's seen across the United States. There's reported sightings in the Northeast, Maine. What is that?
That's the Australian Bigfoot. It's called the Yowie.
The Yowie.
Yeah.
Yowie, that's
Is
the
one of
Australian one?
Several names of the Australian folklore entity that is reported to live in the outback. The creature has its roots in Aboriginal oral history in parts of Queensland. They're known as
That's where she's from.
Killaroi. Did that say Killaroi? Killaroi, Queensland, Australia.
Other names. Okay, so ours is all right. So we have in the United States, we have Bigfoot. It's seen in the Northeast. They also see it in the Pacific Northwest. A large humanoid skunk, gorilla type
Skunk?
ape man. Well, in Florida, we have the skunk ape. So the skunk ape is a large
Bigfoot that smells bad.
Exactly. And there's actually like the reported sightings of the skunk ape go all the way back to 1818. It was seen in the middle of Florida. In 1929, it was seen in the Florida Keys. In the 40s, it was seen somewhere in the middle of the state. In the 70s, seen in Palm Beach County, Broward County, more of the Everglades area. If you ever actually look at Florida, Vinny, you do a lot of driving because you just went up to Orlando, right? Like last week for a convention.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you're driving up 75, and then you cross to start heading over to Orlando, and it's nothing but farmland and swamp for miles.
Yes.
That's all you see. And I'm talking hundreds of square miles of just nothingness.
Nothing.
That's not discovered. People haven't been there. People haven't walked there. It's not like it's, fenced off farmland. It's just swampland. So the idea that these creatures exist out there, I give it more credence than not that these things exist because there's so much of this planet that we haven't discovered, and there's actually artificial archaeological evidence that supports this. But this is a photo of the skunk ape. Clearly, again, goes back to what Vinny and Connor were talking about. Never really the clearest of images for whatever reason. But this was taken in 1997. This was done by Chief Vincent Doerr. He was with the Okeechobee Fire Control District. He took a photograph of a dark, upright figure in the swamp. What they say this one is, right here, is the Myakka skunk ape. This was a photo that was taken in 2000, but I really think that that's fake. I look at that, Connor. Do you give any credence to that photo?
I do not.
Anybody else? That clearly that looks like
Dude, I have an
2000s
uncle that looks like that.
Kind of fire, though. It could be an album cover.
There's a very old Joe Rogan stand-up bit where he's talking about why he doesn't believe in Bigfoot. It's like any picture clearly showing Bigfoot looks like a dude in a gorilla suit. And the thing is, no animals that exist look like a person in a costume.
Yeah.
It's like, is that a real zebra or a person in a zebra suit? Obviously,
you know.
you can tell the difference. Yeah. Same thing with this.
But there is evidence that these things existed at one point. Let's pull up the Wikipedia article. This is the Oreopithecus.
Oreopithecus. Great word, Rob.
Oreopithecus. Honestly, Connor helped me with that before the show. It's an extinct genus of of humanoid primate from the Miocene. Here, go ahead. You read that part. You're smarter than I, and I can't read that.
No, it's from the Miocene epoch, which is they believe these are extinct things that upright walking apes and everything.
But these aren't the only evidence. And let's take a look. There's all this weird speculation that these things exist. And there's always, I get the speculation because, again, why can't people photograph it? But let's go to the next news story from the New York Post. These sightings continue to happen across the United States. This happened in July. Terrified teens spot Bigfoot with glowing eyes in Louisiana forest and call 911 for rescue. Let's go to the next New York Post article. This one is from August 2nd. So it really is the summer of Bigfoot. This is when they found found a footage of an alleged Bigfoot that was spotted in a resurfaced nature documentary from a 2001 film. Could we pull this video up and show it to everybody? This is what they say looks like Bigfoot that was captured in this documentary more than 23 years ago and wasn't discovered until very recently.
All right, go.
All right, you see all these
I see them. I see that thing
running?
in the back.
I saw it too for a split second.
Watch. See it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, could that be a bear? I don't know.
I've never seen a bear.
That
That looks like Mighty Joe Young. Did you ever see that movie?
yeah, of
Because that's the thing with Bigfoot. Every time there's an image like that, they say, "Oh, it's a bear that walks on its back legs." That bears can stand up like that. They don't walk very well like that. Bears,
Right.
Let alone run.
bears don't have a stride where they can do that. It's sort of a side to side waddle. That was not waddling. That's walking on two legs. Very.
And that's a long time ago.
Yeah,
Well, how long
very
ago,
well.
Rob?
That was from 2001, the documentary, but they found it this summer when they were reviewing the footage. And according to this New York Post article, a team of researchers from the University of Arizona speculate that, if real, Sasquatch is traced back to an ancient giant ape called Gigantopithecus. From the early days of humans, it was an extinct ape that lived in southern China more than 2 million years ago. So there's actual factual evidence. They say that they have found, let me see, the first remains of the Gigantopithecus, they were found in 1935. They found 2/3 of molar teeth from the jaw of a Gigantopithecus.
Pithecus.
Yes. In 1956, they found a full mandible with more than 1,000 teeth that have been found in Lichting, and numerous other remains have found. They found at least 16 different sites of these mythological creatures, and there's actually audio evidence that these things may exist from the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. Here's what a Bigfoot sounds like. This was captured in 1994 by Matt Moneymaker, who's like really big in the Bigfoot world.
Animal Planet used to have a show called Finding Bigfoot, where him and 3 other guys from the BFRO were out looking for. They never found him.
Like these
They
were the
never
cool
found him.
It
dudes
went on for like 12 seasons, and they never found him.
from the nerd group in high school. You know how there was like always the nerds, and then there was like one nerd that kind of could transcend, but he was like the king of the nerds. That's Matt Moneymaker in the Bigfoot community. He's king of the Bigfoot nerds. Here's the audio that he captured of Bigfoot, and then I'd like to go around and ask you guys, do you guys think Bigfoot exists? And if so, will we ever find factual evidence? But let's take a listen. We don't need to listen to another
Is it a
20
si-
seconds
is it
of
a
that.
siren?
You guys can hear that. Connor, what would your explanation be to that? And to the rest of you guys, do you guys give Bigfoot and his existence any credence?
Well, even though I have an X-Files I want to believe poster hanging up in my office at home, I treat stuff like this with a little bit of healthy skepticism, because there's plenty of things that could be. Case in point, on that show, Finding Bigfoot, every episode there was a dude named Bobo, and they would just send Bobo out into the woods for 3 days in the place where somebody saw Bigfoot to go look around. And one of the things they tried to do to like get a response out of a Sasquatch was howl like that. So they just have Bobo in the middle of the night go out there and make that exact noise, just yelling up into the air trying to find a Bigfoot. And they also say Sasquatches communicate with whistles and tree knocks. So we'd be banging on trees and making high-pitched whistling. But I always joked, even back when I was a kid, like, okay, so what if there's another group of Bigfoot researchers like 2 miles away, and they hear that, like, we got a whistle, we got a tree knock, and then they record that, and then they're doing it back, and Bobo's over there with his recorder, and he's like, oh, we got a response, and then it's just an endless feedback loop of they didn't find Bigfoot, but they found other Bigfoot researchers, and turns out the true Bigfoot was the friends they made along the way.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it reminds me of the what's that show? The Ghost Hunters, where they go in the dark and they just go, "Oh my God!" and they just run. They've never had any real ghosts. They never had anything like I'm at the point where you're like you almost want something to really happen to prove. Because how many seasons of those shows? But I mean, Rob,
And anybody can make them. Okay. I have a friend that I went to high school with. I'm not going to say his name, but he has a production company. And what I learned through him is that you could just put whatever bullshit you want and put it up on Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime will sell it and list it. So you could go like, hey, I could put my comedy special on Amazon Prime. So my buddy and his stoner friends filmed a bunch of ghost exploration
How much
shows.
did he make?
Oh, nothing. No, it had like 1 star. But he was able to go, oh, I partner with Amazon to release this. So people take it like
Of course.
realistically.
Right.
Yeah, you watch a show and it's literally 3 guys that I literally would do bong rips under this kid's porch out of a Home Depot bucket. We made a gravity bong out of it in another life. And these are guys running around going, okay, we're checking our ectometers to see if there's ghost activity. And here I am laughing at them, but I think Bigfoot's real.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, from that long ago, I mean, you would think at this point with our technology and everything, I know that the land is vast. Somebody would have found them or tackled it or had some DNA, some hair, something. I don't know.
But you always see
Thing.
the
I would like to believe. I would like to believe it's real, just because it makes life more fun when you think that all of these mystical, magical things could
You
exist.
know what-
you know how mermaids may be created now after your last segment.
I know.
Yeah, after you're
Through
humping
dolphin rape.
freaking dolphins.
Oh, the
For me, I'm obsessed with dragons. Not a lot of people know this about me. As a child, I had
We're
a
all
book.
coming out to it.
I had a book called
Jesus Christ
Dragonology.
of normal.
I was obsessed with that thing. I knew every
You got the
single different-
Dragonology? I remember that book.
You remember the book?
I remember
Dragonology?
my friends had it. I always wanted it. I never got it because it was
Dude,
like
I
it was
still have it back
crazy
in
expensive.
Australia. I'll see if my mom
Dragonology,
can
the complete book of dragons.
Yes, okay. And listen, when I saw How to Train Your Dragon, I literally cried at the end because I'm like, I'm never going to have a dragon. Like, I hope that all of these mystical things are real, because that would just make life.
But I mean,
better.
did-
All right.
What?
I hate to be that guy.
That's it. That's the book.
Oh, hold on. Let me
No, I'm
make a
gonna be that
make
guy.
a prediction real quick. Bigfoot's a freaking psyop, dude.
It's a
it's
psyop,
not. It's not
dude.
real. It's
It's
just
a
the government.
psyop.
Don't
No.
believe it, dude. It's all bullshit,
No,
dude.
okay, you're wrong, because I'm going darker. There's 460,000 kids missing. Get your fucking boots and go find those kids. Like, this is bullshit. This
You
is
think
absolute.
Bigfoot's taking the kids?
I don't know, but this is not even funny. Like right now, the FBI reported that it's 460 kids missing, and these jackoffs are looking for a hairy guy. Come on, do something useful. Do something useful.
This is he goes,
Come on.
This is funny because I didn't know you were gonna go there, but you're like, this is bullshit.
It is
The hell
bullshit.
with that hairy asshole.
And
So
you know what?
dolphin rape important, Bigfoot not important, and somewhere in the middle, child's going missing.
Dolphin rape is an inactive thing. You know, you
my
just get
God.
raped. You don't go looking for it. Like, if you're going to look for something, look for missing kids. And I'm being serious about this. 460 kids are missing right now.
Oh.
And the other thing, we're a very jealous species, and we're really good at killing. Okay? So other primates are kind of intelligent. We just got rid of them.
Yeah.
You know, Neanderthals, like Homo
gone.
sapiens, they killed all of them. So if my guess is that this could be another species. Like, I'm not throwing it out the window.
But
even
he's
though-
very good at hide and go seek.
but he's very good at hiding because he knows we're coming for him.
Yeah.
They can't exist in numbers large enough to have a thriving reproducing population.
Yeah.
But just like lots of other things, just like we talked about with, the Stonehenge ancient civilization stuff, so many of these weird little details exist in cultures and locations that had nothing to do with each other. Amy's native Australia has Bigfoot.
Yowie.
Has their own version. There's the Yeti in Asia. The Indo-Europeans had a version of that. Native Americans in North America had it. The South American natives had a similar version. This thing has popped up around the world throughout history for reasons that nobody can really explain. Just, hey, yeah, there's
Tall Armenians.
there's giant ape men.
Armenians.
Maybe. But, I mean, that would be pretty close. The point is, they're experiencing something. Same thing with dragons. Whether an actual dragon existed or people interacted with dinosaurs. What's the difference?
Right.
Giant scaly thing that could eat you.
Yeah.
That's kind
But
of
they
the
could
same
never
thing.
fly. That's a lie. It's the biggest lie.
But I
Only
want-
pterodactyls,
Amy-
but they're much smaller than
Amy, because
dragons.
I have to go to his story, but did you watch Game of Thrones?
No, I never.
Oh
watched-
my God,
'Cause I
there's
heard
dragons all over
I
it.
know, but I heard it's like really graphically like sexual, and I don't watch stuff like that.
No, it's. I mean, yeah, it's. I have a story about my mom, but it's
Graphic sex, gratuitous violence, whatever.
But-
the ending is
But the
terrible.
dragons!
The ending is terrible, so that's why
Oh.
you shouldn't
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay,
It's
okay.
it's not worth the trouble.
What?
There's too much graphic sex, and then I know I have a story about my mom.
Yeah,
and then
oh, no.
everybody
Well,
just
Yeah, we
Yo,
were
all right, just really, really fast. During the pandemic, I went there to move her to Utah, to where my sister was, and I'm like, Mom, we're gonna watch this show, and it's a scene where Littlefinger, who owns a brothel,
I know
a
that
guy
scene.
comes in and goes, Hey, I was just with this girl, and she was horrible. She was crying the whole time, and another girl comes out, and he's like, Oh, I'm gonna give you a girl for free. Wipes male, you know what, off of the face, and then kisses the new guy. All I hear is my mom go, ugh, she threw up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she threw up.
Yeah, some guys pay for
But hey,
that.
by the way, Amy, still a really good show. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.